sometimes I find myself really discouraged about different various things. Especially like with things that people say to me, like receiving criticism or receiving I don't know, just like comments on myself. I think it's a really like normal thing for this age is just having a hard time taking criticism, and I think it's one of those things that you'll kind of naturally improve on as criticism comes your way, like as you get older and stuff, because obviously, you can't go through your entire adult life without ever being critiqued. It's just not how it works. And you can dig your heels in all you want, but sometimes other people are right. I mean, sometimes it's true. Sometimes you have things to work on, and it's fine. Everybody does, right? But something that I think about is that, everything that you say comes from, well, unless you've read an article or you're trained to the subject or whatever, the majority of things that you say, they come from your experience. I mean, at least for me, like, I speak from my experience when I talk. I don't claim to know things. Sometimes, I mean, maybe I do, but I really shouldn't. I really should not be claiming that I know things when I don't. And I try not to do that. A while ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, somebody told me that I would essentially never be able to move out ever because rent prices are horrible and the economy sucks and all these different things. It was so weird because I didn't know this person. I just like mentioned it briefly as like one of my future goals was like to move out of my parents' house, which by the way, it's like a very normal goal to have. I don't know. Like I think it's a normal goal to like want to not live with your parents for eternity, but that's just the opinion of one person. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm looking for a specific word, but I've never met someone so confident or like persistent that moving out is just like completely out of the cards for like everyone in this generation. Never met someone so intense about that. And like, yes, I've had boomers and people give me the whole listen, the economy is tight conversation. I'm not a stranger to the economy is tough right now conversation. To be fair, I don't want kids, so in a way I'm one step ahead. That's a portion of my income that I don't have to spend on an extra. Anyway, whatever. I'll get a cat. It'll make up for it, don't worry. I'll still be a good citizen and have a child in the form of a furball thing. Anyway, right, so normally I would have never listened to this person telling me that there's no way that I'm going to be able to move out of my parents' house and all this stuff. But that particular day, I was just having a bad day. Like, I was like having difficulties in various areas of my life, and I was just feeling pretty down. And that comment really got to me. Like that conversation, because it wasn't just a comment. She was really persistent about it. She was really like, she asked me if I looked at rent prices, and I told her yes. And then she said where, and I was like, "What do you mean where?" Basically, what I'm saying is that my advice for you, my friend, is that you need to be aware that every single piece of advice that you get is coming from somewhere. Every piece of information that you get was picked up from somewhere else, okay? So if you're not getting it from like a professional, someone who's like trained in the area, even if you are getting it from someone who's trained in the area, remember that their training comes from somewhere, okay? And someone else's experience does not determine what you can and can't do. If somebody gives you a piece of advice, it's coming from them and their perspective and the way that they see the world. So if you're looking at someone who's giving you advice, okay, regardless of what it is, you kind of want to be taking advice from people who you actually want to be like. So if you're looking at someone who's giving you advice and you're looking at their life and you're just like, damn, that's crazy. I don't know about that one. Maybe you shouldn't be taking advice from that person. Maybe you shouldn't be believing things that they say about you. Maybe you shouldn't be taking their comments on you yourself to heart. Maybe you shouldn't be letting it affect your self-esteem in any major way. Maybe you should calm down if somebody's saying things to you or about you, and their life is a disaster. I'm just saying, like, you don't take fashion advice from someone who's not fashionable. You don't take money advice from someone who's broke. You don't take, you know what I mean? Just calm down. Calm down. Relax. Take a breather. Eat some ice cream. You'll move out eventually. Okay. That's all. I did write a poem. I have not written a poem in a few days. I'm not going to lie to you. I wrote a problem with death, and I'll finish some of the escape roll prompts, but I'm not finishing escape roll full on this year. Although I have posted more in escape roll this year than I have in any other year. Just so you know. So this is like my record for the amount of escape roll poems that I've done. This is it. This is as good as it gets. It's only up from here. It's only up from here. That's. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, anyway. Good night. Good night. Goodbye. Anyway, good night.